The city of Peoria has reached a deal with the Arizona State Land Department to develop nearly 7,000 acres of land near the Loop 303 corridor. And here now with details is Peoria Mayor Jason Beck. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
So this is a deal with the State Land Department. Explain what's going on here.
So what the initial concept was with state land was really how do we open up the economy in the Northwest Valley, besides just TSMC with the City of Phoenix, and really take advantage of the opportunities that Peoria has, and specifically the Northwest Valley off of the 303. We had all of this state land. We had no access to open land except for state land that was out there. So to really try to engage that, we had to work with state land and really try to find a solution to be able to work in concert with them to put infrastructure in, put entitlements and zoning, and really take action to where we're actually putting that into play.
So we're talking restaurants, retail, we're talking housing, the whole kit and caboodle here.
Exactly.
Huh?
We're looking, our job, 85% of our citizens in the city of Peoria leave the city to work somewhere else. So when I became mayor, one of the first things we were trying to do is how do we actually bring those jobs to the Northwest Valley? How do we actually stop people from having to drive 300 hours a year to go work somewhere else and kind of rehome them to where they actually have spend more time with their family and spend more money in their own city.
You refer to this a little bit here, but how much does this apply to TSMC?
So the factor of TSMC, right now we just signed a deal with Amcor, which is a huge advanced packaging company. They have just announced that they've done a deal recently with a partnership with TSMC and Apple, and the majority of our iPhone chips and iPad chips will actually be made in the city of Peoria.
Okay, so obviously there's a correlation.
That's a big push.
It's a big elephant in the room. You can't avoid that thing.
It's a giant elephant.
When you drive by, you go, holy smoke.
Right.
All right. The city, how much does it pay? What are we talking about here in terms of return on investment?
So this is the first of its kind anywhere in the state. So this is the first time, and this really gives other cities a roadmap to be able to work in concert with the State Land Division. We've had an incredible relationship with State Land, where in the past other cities have not been able to try to crack this egg, if you will. And what this does is this returns $500 million, up to $500 million of reimbursed infrastructure. So essentially, we just generated $500 million of additional revenue for the citizens of the city of Peoria. It also creates about anywhere between $1.5 and $3 billion for state educational funding over the next 20 years.
I'm seeing an initial investment of $140 million.
It's $140 million, and that circles back. Our first dollar every single time a piece of land goes to auction, first dollar out comes back to reimburse the infrastructure that we put into it. So we've treated this as a business deal instead of actually treating this as a kind of a nonprofit organization, if you will.
Yeah, just from land sales alone, what the reimbursements could be.
It's a very big deal.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
It literally could be in the billions. So for us, if you look at the four pillars of what it creates about $500 million of reimbursed infrastructure. It creates anywhere between $1.5 and $3 billion for State Educational Trust Fund, which we obviously was your previous interview with. That's one of the big topics. For taxes and revenue, it generates billions of dollars over a 20-year period of time.
It's a beautiful area out there. What about open spaces, hiking, nature stuff? That's not going to get kicked aside.
Not at all. It's actually, we just put part of what we call our MORE program, which is our Mountains and Open Space program. We just added 3,800 acres of open space to the city of Peoria, where we're going to have more incredible trails, more open space, and we'll continue to do so with these programs.
Was there much opposition to this?
To the state land deal?
Yes.
I have not heard a single person say that they didn't want $500 million reimbursed back to the city. In fact, I think if you talk to most people, whether it's the Arizona Chamber of Commerce or GPEC, this is probably one of the most innovative strategies that any city has actually brought to bear. A lot of people told me that I couldn't get this accomplished, which only made me want to work harder at getting this done. We put an extremely innovative management team together with City Manager Henry Darwin, who used to run the state of Arizona for Governor Doug Ducey, was first COO, and then also a gentleman by the name of Mike Faust, who came from the state as well and ran Child Protective Services. We've put their innovative thought process into how do we drive economic development for the city.
All right, Jason Beck, Mayor of Peoria. We'll be watching out there. Probably can't miss it once you get out there.
You won't be able to miss it. I appreciate it.
Good to see you again.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.